nurse hands me the blood type card, and I know my dying wife's baby couldn't be mine, but our 3 kids are watching. The fluorescent lights in the ICU waiting room buzz like angry wasps, casting everyone in that particular shade of hospital pale that makes healthy people look sick and sick people look dead. My hands shake as I stare at the small white card, its edges sharp enough to cut. 4 letters and a symbol that shouldn't exist. A+. Mr. Morrison, the nurse touches my shoulder gently. Your wife is stable now. The emergency C-section was successful. Would you like to see the baby? I look up at her kind face, then back at my 3 children sleeping across the uncomfortable plastic chairs. Emma, 12, curled protectively around 8-year-old James. Little Sophie, only 5, clutches her teddy bear with one hand and James's shirt with the other. They've been here for 9 hours. 9 hours since their mother collapsed at breakfast, blood pooling on our kitchen floor, while Sophie screamed and Emma called 911 with the steady voice of a child who's had to grow up too fast in the last few minutes. The blood type, I managed to say. There must be a mistake. The nurse glances at the card, then at her computer tablet. No mistake, Mr. Morrison. Baby girl Morrison. A positive. Why? Is there a concern about transfusions? Your wife is O negative, so there could have been complications, but we caught it in time. O negative, like me, like our 3 children. 2 O negative parents can't create an A positive child. It's basic biology, the kind they teach in high school, the kind that destroys marriages in hospital waiting rooms at 3:47 a.m. I need a moment. She nods, professionally trained not to ask questions about the father who's just discovered his wife's baby isn't his. Take all the time you need. Your wife is in room 314 when you're ready. She's asking for you. The doctor said she might not make it, but that wasn't the only thing dying. If you've ever held a secret that could shatter everything you love, type I understand below. Because right now I'm holding this card like it's made of plutonium, radioactive with truth that could poison everything it touches. This morning started like any other Thursday. I was making pancakes, the kind with chocolate chips that Sarah always said would rot the kids' teeth, but never stop them from eating. The coffee maker gurgled its familiar morning song, and my mug, the one Emma made me in 2nd grade that reads World's Best Dad in uneven purple letters, steamed on the counter. Mom's not feeling good, Emma said, coming down the stairs with that worried look she gets when she's trying to be the responsible one. Morning sickness again? I asked, flipping a pancake perfectly. 4 kids meant I'd gotten good at the little things. She's 8 months along. Should be past that by now. No, Dad. Something's wrong. The urgency in her voice made me turn off the stove. In our bedroom, Sarah was sitting on the edge of the bed, her face white as our sheets, the sheets that were turning red beneath her. Don't panic, she whispered, grabbing my hand. Just get the kids ready and call. She didn't finish the sentence. Her eyes rolled back, and she slumped forward. I caught her before she hit the floor, her pregnant belly heavy against my arms. Emma, I shouted, call 911, now. James, take Sophie downstairs. Mommy? Sophie's voice was tiny, confused. She's okay, baby. She just needs to go to the hospital to have your sister. Sarah's hand found mine, weak but insistent. Promise me, she gasped. Promise me you'll... Save your strength, I said, but she squeezed harder. Promise me. I should have asked what. The ambulance ride was a blur of medical terms I didn't understand, and Sarah's hand growing colder in mine. Placental abruption, they said. Emergency surgery. The baby needs to come out now. Sign here, here, and here. Are you the father? Yes, I said. Yes, I'm the father. The waiting room became our temporary home. Emma made 3 trips to the vending machine with my credit card, making sure her siblings ate even though none of us were hungry. James built and rebuilt the same puzzle from the kids' corner 17 times. Sophie colored picture after picture, all of them featuring 5 stick figures holding hands under a rainbow. Our family, she explained to anyone who would listen, with the new baby. Other families came and went, a young couple with their first child, crying happy tears, an elderly man whose wife had fallen, his adult children rallying around him. We were the tragic middle, the family camping out in purgatory, waiting to learn if we'd leave as 4 or 5, or maybe just 4. At hour 6, Sarah's mother arrived. Patricia had driven 3 hours from Columbus, her usually perfect hair disheveled, her makeup smeared. "How is she?" she demanded. "Still in surgery." She looked at the children, then back at me. Something flickered in her eyes. Knowledge, maybe. Guilt, definitely. "You've always been too good for her," she said quietly. She knew. The coffee from the machine tastes like liquid disappointment, but I drink it anyway. Cup number 8 or 9, I've lost count. The ultrasound photo is still on my phone wallpaper, the one from 2 months ago where you can clearly see the baby's profile. Sarah said she looked like me. Sarah lied about a lot of things, apparently. I pull out her phone from her purse, the one the paramedics gave me with her jewelry and clothes. The screen is cracked from when she dropped it last week, spider webbing across our family photo. I know her passcode, Emma's birthday. My thumb hovers over the Messages app. This is wrong. She's fighting for her life 3 floors up, and I'm about to invade her privacy. But that blood type card burns in my pocket like a brand. 2 O negative parents can't make an A positive baby. Biology doesn't lie. The first text thread is from me, asking what she wants from the store, reminding her about James's parent-teacher conference, a heart emoji when she sent a picture of her swollen feet. Normal, married couple stuff. The stuff you do when you still believe your marriage is real. The second thread makes my stomach drop. The contact is saved as Jim, but the messages weren't about exercise. Missing you today. Can't wait to see you Thursday. And Sarah, we need to talk about after the baby comes. I love you too. Thursday. Today is Thursday. She was going to see him today. I scroll up, my hands shaking worse than when I held the blood type card. The messages go back months, back to October, back to when I was in Cleveland for my mother's funeral. I know this is wrong, but I need you. He's gone for 3 days. Come over. The kids are asleep. My mother's funeral. I was burying my mother while my wife was, "Daddy?" Sophie stands in front of me, rubbing her eyes. Is Mommy okay? I close the phone, shove it back in the purse. The doctors are taking good care of her, sweetheart. I drew another picture. She holds up a crayon drawing. 5 figures again, but this time the mommy figure is lying down and the others are standing around her. It's us taking care of Mommy and the baby. It's beautiful, Sophie. James said the baby might not be... She stops, her lower lip trembling. The baby's going to be fine. I lie, because that's what fathers do. We lie to protect our children. Both Mommy and the baby are going to be fine. She crawls into my lap, her small body warm against my chest. She smells like crayons and the strawberry shampoo Sarah uses on her hair. Sarah, who was sleeping with someone else while I was grieving my mother, while our children slept upstairs, while our baby, not our baby, grew inside her. The nurse appears in the doorway. "Mr. Morrison, your wife is out of surgery. She's stable, but critical. You can see her now." I stand, Sophie still in my arms. "Kids, I'm going to check on Mom. Emma, you're in charge." Emma nods, that too adult expression back on her face. "Tell her we love her." I will. As I follow the nurse down the hallway, Sophie whispers in my ear, "Daddy, why were you looking at Mommy's phone? Kids see everything. Kids know everything. Kids just don't understand everything. Not yet. Room 314 smells like disinfectant and dying flowers. Sarah lies in the center of a medical spider web, IVs, monitors, tubes. Her face is gray, lips cracked despite the chapstick the nurses apply every hour. The machines breathe for her, steady mechanical lungs that sound nothing like the way she used to sigh against my neck in the morning. The baby is in the NICU. I haven't seen her yet. Can't bring myself to look at the child who carries another man's DNA while wearing my last name on her tiny plastic bracelet. She lost a lot of blood, the doctor explains, his voice carefully neutral. The next 24 hours are critical. She may need additional surgery. Are you able to make medical decisions for her? I'm her husband. The words taste like ash. Husband. The man who should be the father of all her children. The man who wasn't enough, apparently. Good, we'll keep you updated. The baby is stable, 7 pounds, 2 ounces, a fighter like her mother. Like her mother. The mother who betrayed every promise we made in that little church 13 years ago, in sickness and in health. Forsaking all others. The vows I memorized, practiced, meant with every cell in my body. The vows she was already breaking while I held her hand at the altar. No, that's not right. The affair started in October. Just while I was burying my mother, just when I needed her most. I sit in the uncomfortable chair beside her bed, watching her chest rise and fall with the ventilator's rhythm. Her wedding ring is in a plastic bag on the bedside table. They had to cut it off because of the swelling. 13 years of marriage reduced to a severed circle of white gold. Dad? Emma appears in the doorway with her brothers and sister. The nurse said we could visit for a few minutes. They creep in like they're entering a church, voices automatically dropping to whispers. Sophie climbs onto my lap again while James and Emma stand on the opposite side of the bed, staring at their unconscious mother. Why does she have so many machines? James asks. They're helping her breathe and making sure her heart stays strong. Like Iron Man's arc reactor, he says and almost smiles. Emma pulls out a folder from her backpack. We made cards, and Sophie drew more pictures. They spread them across the rolling tray table, bright construction paper covered in glitter glue and crooked letters. Get well soon, Mommy. We love you. Come home soon. Sophie's pictures show the same 5 figures over and over, like a prayer in crayon. Should we put them where she can see them when she wakes up? Emma asks. That's a good idea. We tape them to the wall, a rainbow of innocent love surrounding a woman who shattered our family while we weren't looking. Sophie insists on placing her newest drawing, the one of us taking care of Mommy, right where Sarah will see it first. Daddy, Sophie says, studying her mother's face. Why does Mommy look so sad even when she's sleeping? I don't know, baby. Maybe she's having bad dreams. Maybe she's dreaming about him, about Michael from the gym, about the life she wanted instead of the one she built with me. Can we see our sister? James asks suddenly. My stomach clenches. Their sister who isn't their sister. Not really, not biologically, but they don't know that. They may never know that. Maybe later, I say. She's very small and needs special care right now. What's her name? Emma asks. I realize with a start that we never discussed names. We had a list for boys, but couldn't agree on girls' names. Sarah wanted something trendy, Madison, Brooklyn, Addison. I preferred classic, Elizabeth, Catherine, Mary. Now I understand why she didn't want to name another child with me. She already knew whose child it was. We haven't decided yet. Can we help pick? Sophie bounces slightly on my lap. Maybe. Emma's eyes narrow slightly. She's always been too perceptive, too good at reading the undercurrents in adult conversations. Dad, is everything okay? I mean, besides Mom being sick? What would you do with her phone? Comment below. Because I want to tell my 12-year-old daughter everything, I want to rage and scream and break things. Instead, I smooth Sophie's hair and force my voice to stay level. Everything's going to be fine. You keep saying that, Emma observes, but you don't look like you believe it. Before I can respond, Patricia returns, carrying a photo album and a box of cookies from the gift shop. Oh good, you brought the children, she says, but her eyes are on me, wary and knowing. Why don't you kids go get something from the cafeteria? Here's some money. She hands Emma a 20, and after hugs for their unconscious mother, the kids file out. Patricia waits until their footsteps fade down the hallway. How long have you known? I ask. She sits in the chair Emma vacated, opening the photo album. Since Thanksgiving, she had a bruise on her shoulder, said it was from her gym bag. But I've been married 37 years, Daniel. I know what a hickey looks like. And you didn't tell me? What would you have done? Left her? Taken the kids? She begged me not to say anything, said she was ending it. Patricia flips through pages of family photos. Birthdays, Christmases, vacations. She loves you, you know. She has a funny way of showing it. I'm not defending her. What she did is inexcusable, but she does love you. She was just... Patricia sighs, looking at a photo from last summer. All 5 of us at the beach, Sarah visibly pregnant, everyone smiling. Lost, I think. After your mother died, you pulled away, and he was there. I was grieving. I know, and she should have been there for you, instead of... She closes the album. The baby, you know. The blood type doesn't match. Patricia nods slowly. What are you going to do? I don't know. And I don't. Because the easy answer, divorce, DNA tests, custody battles, doesn't account for 3 children sleeping in waiting room chairs, drawing pictures of a 5-person family. It doesn't account for the way Sophie still clutches her teddy bear, the one Sarah stayed up all night repairing when it ripped. It doesn't account for 13 years of morning coffee and bedtime stories, and holding each other through miscarriages and job losses and the death of parents. No excuses, no explanations, just betrayal. But also no simple answers. After Patricia takes the kids home, they need to sleep in real beds, shower, eat real food. I go to the family bathroom and pull out Sarah's phone again. This time I'm methodical, surgical. I need to know everything. The credit card app shows charges I never saw. Not because she hid the statements, but because I trusted her. Why would I check? We've always been transparent about money, or so I thought. October 15th, Hamilton Hotel, 3:47:82, 2:47 p.m. October 16th, Victoria's Secret, 126:43. October the 17th, Hamilton Hotel again, $347.82. The charges were from when I was at my mother's funeral. I check our shared calendar. October 15th, gym and errands. October 16th, book club. October 17th, parent volunteer meeting. All lies. Documented, time-stamped lies. November shows more of the same. December, too. The hotel charges stop in January, when she would have been showing too much to hide the pregnancy from him. Or maybe that's when she told him. Maybe that's when they started meeting at his place instead. There are restaurant charges at places I've never heard of. A jewelry store purchase for $89. What did she buy? Something for him? Something from him that she told me was from a friend. The bathroom door opens and a man walks in. I shove the phone in my pocket, splash water on my face. Rough night? He asks. You could say that. Your wife's the emergency C-section, right? I heard the nurses talking. Hope she pulls through. Thanks. He leaves and I stare at my reflection. I look like I've aged 5 years in 5 hours. The fluorescent lights highlight every line, every shadow. I look like a man whose life is falling apart in a hospital bathroom while his wife fights for her life 3 doors down. Back in Sarah's room, I find someone sitting in my chair. A man, early 30s, athletic build, gym clothes. The cologne hits me before I even enter the room, something expensive and familiar. I've smelled it before, on my pillow, on Sarah's clothes when she came home late. You must be Daniel, he says, standing. I'm Michael, from Sarah's gym. He extends his hand. I don't take it. What are you doing here? I heard about the accident, the emergency. I was worried. He glances at Sarah, and his face crumbles a little. The kind of genuine emotion you can't fake. Will she be okay? The doctors are optimistic. Good. That's good. He shifts uncomfortably. And the baby? He asked which room. I realized he didn't know I knew. The baby is fine. 7 pounds, 2 ounces, a positive blood type, healthy. His face goes white. He knows I know. We stand there, 2 men on opposite sides of a dying woman's bed, the truth hanging between us like a corpse. I didn't mean for... He starts. Don't. She was going to tell you. After the baby was born, she wanted to do it right. There's no right way to destroy a family. She said you were separated, that you were only together for the kids. I laugh, short and bitter. Is that what she told you? No. We were fine. We were happy. Until you. That's not what she... Get out. I have a right to... You have no rights here. I'm her husband. My name is on the birth certificate. Get out before I call security. He looks at Sarah once more, then back at me. This isn't over. Yes, it is. But we both know it's not. Not with A positive blood running through a baby's veins upstairs. Not with DNA that will eventually tell its own story. After he leaves, I sink into the chair, still warm from his presence. The monitor beeps steadily. Sarah's chest rises and falls. The cards the children made flutter slightly in the air conditioning. A perfect family tableau if you don't look too close. I need air or coffee, or something stronger that the hospital doesn't sell. In the hallway, I nearly collide with a woman carrying flowers. Oh, I'm so sorry, she says, then recognizes me. Mr. Morrison, I'm Kelly from Sarah's book club. We heard about what happened. How is she? Book club. One of her alibi nights. She's stable, I manage. We're all praying for her. She's such a wonderful person. Always talking about you and the kids. You're all she ever talks about, really. Is that right? Oh yes, every meeting it's, Daniel did this or the kids said that. We tease her about it, actually. Say she should write a book about perfect families instead of just reading about them. Kelly adjusts the flowers. These are from all of us. Tell her we love her. She hurries off, leaving me holding a bouquet with a card that reads, To the best wife and mother we know. The irony is suffocating. Back in Sarah's room, I go through her purse more carefully. Wallet, keys, breath mints, 3 tubes of the same lipstick, receipts from Target, a half-eaten granola bar, hand sanitizer, tissues, 4 hair ties, a broken earring, her hospital insurance card, and an envelope, sealed with my name on it in her handwriting. My hands shake as I open it. The letter is dated 3 days ago. Daniel, if you're reading this, something went wrong with the delivery, and I need you to know the truth before you hear it from someone else. Or maybe you already know. Maybe you figured it out from the blood type or the timing or the way I've been acting these past months. The baby isn't yours. I know this is unforgivable. I know I've destroyed everything we built. But I need you to understand it wasn't about you. You are a wonderful husband, an amazing father. What happened with Michael was a mistake that spiraled into something I couldn't stop. When your mother died, you disappeared. Not physically, but emotionally. You were here, but not here. And I was drowning with 3 kids and pregnancy hormones and loneliness. Michael was just there, listening, helping. And one night, after too much wine and too many tears, I made a choice that I'll regret forever. I was going to end it. I did end it. But then I found out I was pregnant, and the timing, I knew it could be his. Should be his. I've been living with this secret for months, terrified of losing you, losing our family. After the baby comes, I'll tell him everything. I'll tell you everything. We can figure out what's best for everyone. Maybe counseling, maybe separation, maybe you'll forgive me, though I don't deserve it. But if something happens to me, I need you to know. I love you. I've always loved you. Even when I was betraying you, I loved you. That probably makes it worse, not better. Please don't punish the baby for my sins. She's innocent in all this. And please, whatever you decide, don't let our children hate me. They need their mother, even if she's a terrible person who destroyed their family. I'm so sorry, Daniel, for all of it. Sarah. She'd written, after the baby comes, I'll tell him everything. Well, the baby's here, and she can't tell anyone anything while machines breathe for her. I sit with the letter in my hands for an hour, reading it over and over. She loves me. She's always loved me. She destroyed our family, but she loves me. As if love is enough to rebuild trust from ashes. As if love can erase the image of another man in our bed while our children slept down the hall. The heart monitor's rhythm changes, faster. The ventilator hisses. Sarah's eyelids flutter. Sarah? I stand, lean over her. Sarah, can you hear me? Her eyes open slowly, unfocused. She tries to speak but can't around the breathing tube. Her hand reaches out weakly, and despite everything, I take it. You're okay, I tell her. You're in the hospital. You had emergency surgery. The baby... I stop. What do I say about the baby? The baby is fine. She squeezes my hand, tears rolling down her cheeks. Her lips move, trying to form words around the tube. I lean closer to understand. Me, she manages. Michael. Her first word was his name, not mine. I let go of her hand, step back. Her eyes widen, fully conscious now, fully aware of what she just revealed. He was here, I say quietly. I sent him away. She's crying harder now, reaching for me again, but I'm done. I'm so completely done. I know everything, Sarah. The blood type, the hotel charges, the letter in your purse. I hold up the envelope. You were going to tell me after the baby was born? Well, she's born. Congratulations. You have a healthy daughter, 7 pounds, 2 ounces, a positive blood type, his blood type. The monitors are going crazy now. A nurse rushes in. Sir, I need you to step outside. She's getting agitated. I'm leaving. As I walk out, I hear the nurse trying to calm Sarah, saying something about post-surgical confusion, that everything will be okay. But we both know, all three of us know, that nothing will ever be okay again. Not my blood, not my choice, just my children watching. And they are watching. Emma stands at the end of the hallway holding a coffee she must have gotten from the cafeteria. Her face is pale, eyes wide with understanding. Dad, she says in a small voice, is the baby... Should children know the truth? Tell me your thoughts. Because my 12-year-old daughter is looking at me with eyes that have already figured out the answer, and I don't know whether to lie or destroy what's left of her childhood innocence. Where are James and Sophie? I ask instead. Grandma Patricia took them home. I wanted to stay. She takes a shaky breath. The baby isn't yours, is she? That's why you've been acting strange. That's why you were looking at Mom's phone. I could lie, should lie, protect her from adult problems she shouldn't have to carry. How did you... I'm not stupid, Dad, and I heard you talking, Michael, from Mom's gym. She's been weird about him for months. Always texting when you weren't around. And the blood type thing, we studied genetics in science class. My brilliant, too observant daughter, I pull her into a hug, and she breaks down crying against my chest. What happens now? She asks between sobs. Are you getting divorced? What happens to us? What happens to the baby? I don't know, I tell her honestly, but whatever happens, you, James, and Sophie will be okay. I promise you that. You promised Mom something too, she points out. In the ambulance, what did she want you to promise? I think about Sarah's desperate grip, her whispered words. Looking back now, knowing what I know, it's obvious. To love the baby, I say. She wanted me to promise to love the baby. Are you going to? The question hangs between us, heavy as hospital air. Can you love a child born from betrayal? Can you raise a daughter who will grow to look like the man who destroyed your marriage? Can you forgive the unforgivable for the sake of an innocent baby? I don't know, I admit. But even as I say it, I think of Sophie's drawings, 5 stick figures under a rainbow. Our family, she calls it. 5, not 4. Maybe Sophie, in her 5-year-old wisdom, already knows something I'm still fighting to accept. Family isn't just about blood. It's about choice. And right now, I have to make the hardest choice of my life. The lawyer's office smells like leather and old coffee, nothing like the antiseptic hospital I've lived in for 3 days. Sarah's still in the ICU, stable but fragile, like our marriage, like everything I thought was solid in my life. In this state, you're the legal father regardless, unless you act now. Attorney Davidson slides a folder across his mahogany desk. He's the kind of lawyer who wears suspenders and a belt, like he doesn't trust anything, which is probably why Patricia recommended him. You have 30 days from birth to contest paternity, he continues. If you don't, you're legally and financially responsible for the child until she's 18, regardless of DNA. And if I do contest? DNA test, court proceedings, your wife's infidelity becomes public record. The biological father can petition for custody or visitation rights. It gets messy, Mr. Morrison, especially messy for the other children. What about custody of my 3 kids? Your 3 biological children? Given your wife's infidelity and current medical state, you'd likely get primary custody, but... He adjusts his glasses. Judges don't like separating siblings. They might ask your opinion on keeping all 4 children together. 4 children. The baby is only 4 days old, and already she's being discussed like a legal problem to solve. What would you do? I ask. If it were your family? Davidson leans back, his chair creaking. I've been practicing family law for 23 years, Mr. Morrison. I've seen men raise children that weren't theirs and never regret it. I've seen men walk away from biological children and regret it forever. The law can tell you your rights. It can't tell you what's right. That's not helpful. The most important decisions rarely are. He pushes another document forward. This is the petition to establish paternity. Once filed, there's no going back. The truth comes out, for better or worse. I stare at the paper. Such a simple form to destroy so many lives. Can I think about it? You have 26 more days, but Mr. Morrison, whatever you decide for the right reasons. Not from anger, not from hurt. Decide from who you want to be when you look in the mirror in 10 years. Back at the hospital, I find my 3 kids in the family lounge, Patricia supervising while they work on homework. Normal life continuing despite everything falling apart. James is doing math problems, Emma's reading To Kill a Mockingbird for English, and Sophie is practicing writing her letters, tongue stuck out in concentration. Dad! Sophie jumps up. Look, I can write the whole alphabet now. She shows me her paper, letters wandering across the lines like drunken soldiers. At the bottom, she's written, I love my family in shaky capitals. That's beautiful, sweetheart. I'm going to show the baby when she comes home. Do babies know how to read? Not yet, James says without looking up from his division. Babies don't know anything. They just cry and poop. James, Patricia warns. What? It's true. Plus, this baby... He stops, glances at me. When is she coming home anyway? Soon, I say, though I have no idea. Can I bring home another man's child? Can I not? Emma closes her book. Dad, we need to talk as a family. Patricia stands. I'll go get coffee. No, Grandma, stay, Emma says. Your family too. My 12-year-old running a family meeting. When did she grow up? The baby needs a name, Emma continues, and we need to know what's happening. James knows something's wrong. Sophie's confused, and Her voice cracks slightly. I need to know if our family is ending. It's not ending, I say automatically. Then why haven't you visited the baby? James asks. Sophie and I saw her through the window yesterday with Grandma. She's really small and kind of red, but she's our sister. Is she? The question slips out before I can stop it. James frowns. What do you mean? She's Mom's baby. That makes her our sister. Dad, is Mom going to leave us like Tommy's mom did? Sophie asks suddenly, her eyes wide with 5-year-old fear. What? No, Sophie, Mom's not leaving. But Tommy said his mom left because his dad was mean to her. And you were mean to Mom yesterday. The nurse said you made her cry. The weight of their eyes on me is heavier than any legal document. These 3 children who did nothing wrong, who just want their family whole, who don't understand why their father won't hold their new sister. Emma takes a deep breath. We know, Dad. James and I figured it out. The baby, she's still our sister, half-sister, whatever, but she's family. You don't understand. No, you don't understand. Emma interrupts, and she sounds so much like her mother, it breaks my heart. We didn't choose this. The baby didn't choose this, but we can choose what happens next, and we choose family. We don't leave family behind, right, Dad? That's what you always taught us. No revenge, no hatred, just deciding who we'd become. Sophie climbs into my lap, wrapping her small arms around my neck. Please don't make the baby go away, Daddy. She needs us, and we already love her. You haven't even met her properly, I point out. So? Sophie says, we loved her before she was born. Why stop now? Why indeed? A 5-year-old's logic, simple and pure and absolutely right. That evening, after Patricia takes the kids home, I finally visit the NICU. The baby, she still doesn't have a name, lies in a clear plastic bassinet, wires monitoring her heart, her breathing, her everything. She's so small, swimming in the standard issue hospital onesie. Mr. Morrison? A NICU nurse smiles warmly. Would you like to hold your daughter? Your daughter. Not the daughter, not the baby, your daughter. I don't know if I... First-time fathers are always nervous. She won't break, I promise. I have 3 other kids. Oh, then you're a pro. Here. Before I can protest, she places the baby in my arms. 7 pounds, 2 ounces of someone else's DNA wrapped in a pink blanket my children picked out. She opens her eyes, brown, like Michael's, nothing like the blue eyes my children inherited from me. But then she yawns, a tiny, perfect yawn, and her hand escapes the blanket, fingers spreading like a tiny starfish before curling into a fist. She's so helpless, so innocent, so completely unaware that her existence has destroyed everything. No, that's not fair. Sarah's choices destroyed everything. This baby just exists, breathing her tiny breaths, occasionally making small, squeaking sounds like a baby bird. She needs a name for the birth certificate, the nurse says gently. Have you and your wife decided? We hadn't really discussed it. Well, no rush. But the state requires a name within 10 days. 10 days. Everything has a deadline now. 30 days to contest a paternity. 10 days to name a child who might not be mine to name. She grabbed my finger, and I became her father, but not yet. Not quite yet. Though holding her, feeling her warmth, her weight, her absolute vulnerability, something shifts. This isn't about Sarah and me. This isn't about Michael. This is about a baby who needs parents and 3 children who've already claimed her as their sister. Does she eat well? I ask. Oh yes, she's a good eater. Every 3 hours like clockwork. Would you like to feed her? We have formula ready. I nod, and she brings a bottle. The baby latches immediately, sucking with determination, her eyes locked on mine. There's no recognition there. Newborns can barely see. But there's need. Simple, pure need. I'll give you some privacy, the nurse says, pulling a curtain around us. I sit in the rocking chair, this stranger's baby in my arms, and try to figure out who I am now. Not the betrayed husband, that's too simple. Not the noble stepfather, that's too generous. I'm just a man holding a baby while everything burns down around us. My phone buzzes. Emma has sent a photo to the family group chat, the one Sarah usually fills with reminder about dentist appointments and grocery lists. It's one of Sophie's drawings, but new, 5 stick figures as always, but now the baby figure has a name written in Sophie's shaky handwriting, Hope. Hope? I ask the baby. Is that who you are? She continues drinking, unfazed by my existential crisis. Emma texts again. Sophie says the baby should be named Hope because that's what we need most right now. Out of the mouths of babes. 3 days later, Sarah is breathing on her own. The tube is out and she can speak, though she mostly doesn't. We exist in careful silence when I visit, discussing only necessities. The children, her medication schedule, the weather. Today she's sitting up, holding Hope for the first time since the emergency delivery. I watch from the doorway as she cries silently, touching the baby's face, counting fingers and toes. She looks like him, Sarah says without looking at me. Yes. You haven't signed the birth certificate. No. Are you going to? Before I can answer, Michael appears in the doorway behind me. Security must have cleared him as a visitor. Sarah's eyes widen. You shouldn't be here, I tell him, and I have a right to see my daughter. My daughter. The words hang in the air like a challenge. Daniel, please, Sarah says quietly. Let him see her, just once. I step aside. What else can I do? Make a scene? Fight him in front of Sarah's room while nurses call security? I'm tired of fighting, tired of anger, tired of everything. Michael approaches slowly, like he's walking toward something holy. When he sees Hope, his face crumbles. She's perfect, he whispers. Yes, Sarah agrees, and they share a moment of connection that excludes me entirely, the biological parents admiring their creation. Have you chosen a name? He asks. Hope, I say before Sarah can answer. Her name is Hope. They both look at me surprised. Sophie picked it, I explain. My 5-year-old daughter picked it because she says that's what our family needs most right now. Your family, Michael says carefully. Yes, my family. I want to be part of her life. No, you can't just... Actually, I can. I pull out the lawyer's card. Call him if you want to pursue this legally. He'll explain your lack of rights in this state, or... I take a breath. You can walk away. Let Hope grow up with 3 siblings who already love her, 2 parents who'll raise her, and no confusion about who her family is. You'd raise her, knowing she's mine? She's not yours. She's nobody's yet. But if I sign that birth certificate, if I claim her, then she's mine. Legally, morally, completely. That's the deal. You disappear, or I contest paternity, and we let a judge decide. Michael looks at Sarah, who's clutching Hope tighter. Sarah? He asks. I'm sorry, she whispers, but he's right. It's what's best for Hope, for all the children. You said you loved me. I said a lot of things. I was wrong. Michael stares at them both, the woman he had an affair with, the baby he helped create, then turns to me. You'd really raise her, love her, even knowing? I think of Sophie's pictures, Emma's family meeting, James's matter-of-fact declaration that she's our sister, Patricia bringing tiny pink outfits, the weight of Hope in my arms, drinking formula like her life depended on it. We don't leave family behind, I tell him, even when they come to us in unexpected ways. He nods slowly, understanding. Can I hold her? Just once? I look at Sarah. She nods, tears streaming. Michael takes Hope carefully, like she's made of spun glass. He whispers something I can't hear, kisses her forehead, then hands her back to Sarah. Take care of her, he says to me. I will. He leaves without looking back. Sarah breaks down completely, sobbing while holding Hope, who sleeps through it all, unaware that her biological father just said goodbye forever. The judge's chambers are smaller than I expected. It's been 2 weeks since the birth, and we're here for an emergency hearing. Not about custody or paternity, but about Sarah's mother's petition for temporary guardianship while Sarah recovers and I figure things out. Mr. Morrison, the judge says, reviewing the papers, you're not contesting that the child born to your wife is not biologically yours. That's correct. But you're also not contesting paternity legally? Also correct. Help me understand. Your mother-in-law suggests you're being indecisive, that the children need stability. With all due respect to Patricia, the children have stability. They have me. And the infant, Hope, you're willing to raise a child that's not biologically yours? The judge asked a question that changed everything. Your Honor, may I ask you something? She raises an eyebrow but nods. Do you have children? 2. Adopted, both of them. Then you know biology doesn't make a parent. Choice does. Love does. Showing up every day does. I pull out my phone, show her Sophie's drawings. My 5-year-old drew these. Every single one has 5 people. She's never once drawn our family without hope. My 12-year-old organized a family meeting to tell me we don't leave family behind. My 8-year-old has been teaching himself lullabies on his recorder, horrible, squeaky lullabies, to play for his baby sister. They've chosen hope, and I choose them. All of them. And your wife. We have a lot to work through. Maybe we'll make it, maybe we won't, but that's separate from the children. Hope needs parents. My children need their sister. I can give them that. The judge studies me for a long moment. Mr. Morrison, I've been doing this for 15 years. I've seen every version of family you can imagine. The ones that work aren't the ones that look perfect on paper. They're the ones where people choose each other again and again, especially when it's hard. She signs something, stamps it. Petition denied. The children remain with their father. All of them. Patricia actually smiles at me as we leave. You did the right thing. Did I? I'm raising another man's child. No, you're raising your daughter. The moment you decided to sign that birth certificate, she became yours. Biology is just science. Family is a choice. The next morning, I signed the birth certificate. Daniel Morrison, father. Hope Grace Morrison, daughter. The ink is barely dry when Emma, James, and Sophie burst into the hospital room where Sarah is finally packing to go home. Is it official? Emma asks. It's official. Sophie cheers and does a little dance. James tries to look cool but can't hide his smile. They crowd around Sarah's wheelchair where Hope sleeps. We brought her something, James says, pulling out a small teddy bear. It's from all of us. Well, I picked it, Sophie clarifies, but they paid for part of it with their allowance. It's perfect, Sarah says softly. She looks at me, really looks at me for the first time since she woke up. Daniel, Not here, I say quietly. Not in front of them. We'll talk at home. Home, where we'll have to figure out sleeping arrangements, where we'll have to decide if Sarah and I share a room or if I move to the guest room, where we'll have to learn to be some new version of family that includes betrayal and forgiveness, and a baby with the wrong blood type but the right last name. 6 months later, I'm awakened at 3 a.m. by crying. Not Hope. She's actually been sleeping through the night for a week now. This is Sophie, standing in our doorway with tears streaming down her face. Bad dream? I ask, getting up. The drawing dream again. She's been having the same nightmare since we came home from the hospital, that she draws our family, but people keep disappearing from the picture. Come here, baby. I carry her to Hope's room. We converted my office, painted it soft yellow with clouds on the ceiling. Hope is awake, not crying, just looking at the mobile spinning slowly above her crib. Can I hold her? Sophie asks. We settle into the rocking chair, Sophie on my lap, Hope in her arms. 6 months old now, Hope has Michael's brown eyes and Sarah's smile. She looks nothing like me, but she reaches for me when I enter a room, lights up when she hears my voice, falls asleep best when I'm the one rocking her. Daddy, Sophie whispers, is Hope really ours now? Yes, sweetheart, really ours. Forever? Forever. Even though... She doesn't finish. Even at 5, almost 6 now, she understands more than we've told her. Love isn't about blood, Sophie. It's about choice. And we choose Hope, just like I choose you and Emma and James every single day. And Mommy? That's more complicated. Sarah and I are in counseling. Twice a week, We sit in a beige office and dissect our marriage, looking for something worth saving in the wreckage. Some days I think we'll make it. Other days I can barely look at her. But we're trying, for the kids, for ourselves, for the strange possibility that broken things can be rebuilt stronger. I'm trying to choose mommy too, I tell Sophie honestly. It's harder sometimes, but I'm trying. Because we don't leave family behind? Because we don't leave family behind. Hope makes a gurgling sound, her hand patting Sophie's face. Sophie giggles. She knows I'm her sister, Sophie says confidently. Yes, she does. Should we show her the new drawing? Sophie's been working on a new family portrait. This one is more detailed. She's gotten better at staying within the lines. 5 figures still, but now the baby figure has brown eyes carefully colored in, the dad figure has glasses like I recently started wearing, and the mom figure is drawn slightly apart from the group, but with a line, Sophie calls it a love string, connecting her to everyone else. It's perfect, I tell her. Do you think Hope will draw our family someday? I know she will. We sit there, 3 generations of complicated family, rocking in the chair Sarah and I bought when Emma was born. The same chair where I've rocked all my children through fevers and nightmares and growth spurts, all 4 of my children. The adoption papers arrive on a Tuesday. Not for Hope, she's already legally mine. These are different papers. Sarah's idea, actually, from one of our therapy sessions. What's this? I ask when she hands them to me. Michael signed away his rights officially. No contact, no claims, nothing. But Dr. Jensen said we should make it ceremonial. Official in every way. So, she takes a breath. These are adoption papers for you to legally adopt Hope. Not because you have to. You're already her father. But because choosing matters. And I want Hope to know someday that you didn't just accept her. You chose her, officially, legally, with witnesses and a judge and everything. Sarah. I know I have no right to ask anything of you, but this isn't for me. It's for Hope, so she never doubts that she's yours. I look at the papers. Such a strange formality, adopting a child who's already legally mine. But Sarah's right. Symbols matter. Ceremonies matter. Choosing matters. Okay, I say. Really? Really? The adoption ceremony is small. Just family. The kids, Patricia, my brother who flew in from Seattle, Sarah. The judge is the same one who denied Patricia's guardianship petition. This is unusual, she says with a small smile. Adopting a child who's already legally yours. Our family is unusual, Emma says, and everyone laughs. Well then, let's make it official. Do you, Daniel Morrison, choose to adopt Hope Grace Morrison as your lawful daughter with all the rights, responsibilities, and privileges that entails? I do. Do you promise to love, protect, and guide her in sickness and health, in good times and bad, for as long as you both shall live? The words are eerily similar to wedding vows. Sarah flinches slightly, but I keep my eyes on Hope, who's chewing on Sophie's bracelet. I do. Then by the power vested in me by the state, I declare this adoption complete. Hope, you are one lucky little girl to be chosen by this family. Hope chooses that moment to spit up on my suit. Everyone laughs, and James hands me a burp cloth with the practiced ease of a big brother who's been through this before. Classic Hope timing, he says. The photographer, Sarah insisted, captures us all laughing. It becomes our Christmas card photo. 5 people, not perfect, not without complications, but family. The kind you choose. The kind you keep choosing every day, even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. That night, after the kids are asleep, Sarah finds me in Hope's room. I'm watching her sleep. This child who carries none of my DNA but all of my heart. Thank you, Sarah says quietly. For what? For being the man I couldn't deserve, but our children needed. I didn't do it for you. I know. That's what makes it even more remarkable. We stand there in silence, two people who've broken everything and are trying to build something new from the pieces. It's not the marriage we had. It's not the family we planned, but it's ours. The baby's first word will determine our future, Sarah says suddenly. What? Something you said once in the hospital, that Hope's first word would determine our future. Well, she said it yesterday while you were at work. My heart sinks. Michael? No. Sarah smiles, sad but genuine. Dada, clear as day. Dada. I close my eyes, overwhelmed. She chose you, Sarah continues. Just like Sophie and James and Emma choose you every day. Just like... She pauses. Just like I hope you'll choose us again someday. Not today, not tomorrow, but someday. I'm trying, Sarah. I know. That's enough for now. What would you choose? Truth or mercy? That's the question I leave you with, because in the end, I chose both. Truth, acknowledging what happened, who Hope is biologically, what Sarah did, but also mercy. For Hope, for my children, for Sarah, and maybe most importantly, for myself. We don't leave family behind, even when that family comes to us through betrayal and heartbreak, even when that family doesn't match our blood type, even when choosing family means forgiving the unforgivable and loving the unexpected. Hope is 2 years old now. She calls me daddy, calls Sarah mommy, and bosses her siblings around with the confidence of someone who's always belonged. She has Michael's eyes, but Sophie's laugh. Sarah's nose, but James's stubborn streak. Emma's careful way of thinking, but my tendency to wake up too early. She is ours, not by blood, by choice. And sometimes on quiet Sunday mornings when all 5 of us are piled in the big bed reading stories, Hope in my lap, Sophie drawing beside us, James showing Emma something on his tablet, Sarah reading with her coffee, I forget that we're a rebuilt family. We're just family. The kind worth choosing, the kind worth keeping, the kind that knows we don't leave family behind, even when they arrive in ways that shatter everything we thought we knew about ourselves. Share your own story of chosen family below, the people who became yours not by blood, but by decision. Your story matters because in the end, all our stories are about the same thing, choosing love over everything else that seems easier. Blood makes you related, choice makes you family, and we choose each other again and again, forever.